Mr. Drakkar Klose, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, and thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. You are 11-1-1 in your mixed martial arts journey, set to take on Beneil Dariush at UFC 248 on March 7th. How are things?
Things have been well. Having a good camp. I feel like I'm peaking at the right time. This is I was supposed to fight him back in was it July in Sacramento. He got injured. Ended up fighting someone else, and now this fight was made to happen. So now it's gonna happen.
I'm excited for it, that's for sure. So I see you have a little documentary following along in this fight camp. It's called Close Route to Victory. What was the idea behind that? Was it your idea? Did someone approach you and say, hey, let's make a documentary?
I actually talked to my brother and his good friend Hawk, and they're like music producers, and he's a videographer, and so they kind of combined that together, and they decided to come out. They live out in LA, so they decided to come out for 6 weeks, and they've been staying here with me and just shooting and putting it up. But I think we just wanted to let the fans into our lives a little and let them know like what fighters go through leading up to the fight. A lot of people just see us walk out and fight, but they don't know what happens behind the scenes, and there's a lot of ups and downs, leading to that fight, and hopefully we can show some of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a great behind the scenes look of, especially the family life and what's it like, at home and having to take care of children and your relationship with your significant other and just things that, like you said, people just really don't understand or have any clue because, like you said, they only see the finished product. Well, what's it like being in a relationship with someone who is also a fighter and understands the sport and understands what you're going through?
I think it works. It really works for me. We both understand what it takes and what the other person needs in that time of leading up to the fight. Sometimes it can be difficult because we compete with each other too much. And I think on our first series, we were sparring together, and she was trying to take my head off, and and she said I was hitting her hard. So we try to stay away from sparring each other because it always just leads to a little argument. But it's nothing but love.
And I also saw in your series that you're visiting with a sports psychologist now. And I know a lot of fighters do that, and it's becoming more and more popular. So for you, what would you say are the benefits that you're getting out of that?
We talk a lot about just partnership. Kind of going to this fight as I need Dariush, to bring the best out of me, and hopefully I can bring the best out of him to further our career. If we would have a lot in common if we were both in the army and we were at war and we were helping each other. You know what I mean? Not to think of it as a war aspect, like getting mad and want to fight them, but as more of a partnership to better our career. And I think that's I learned a lot from Greg, and I think it's gonna show in this fight.
Yeah, that's definitely important, removing the emotion from it, or maybe not removing it, but placing it in a different perspective. Because, I mean, you hear fighters all the time say that they fight better when they're not angry out there, or they remove that kind of animosity. They can just be themselves and flow and not let their judgment get clouded. So, like, I feel like that's definitely important. Now, where can the audience catch your documentary series?
On YouTube channel, it's the Close Route to Victory. They also can follow the Close Route to Victory on Instagram. They also can follow me, Drakkar Klose, on Instagram, or Courtney Casey to get the link.
Awesome. Now, so I mean, you can wrestle, right? You can clinch, you can strike. You mix things up pretty well, and you have a really strong gas tank. I spoke with Dariush the other day, and I asked him, where he felt you were most dangerous, and he said it was how smart you are and how smart you fight. So I was wondering for you, where do you feel like your biggest asset is in the cage?
I would have to agree with them, but um, I just know what it takes to win. I've always been a winner. You know what I mean? Sometimes I might be down around and I have to fight back in the third. I'm gonna dig down deep and give all I have to get that victory.
Now, Dariush, he's 17-4-1, and he's also on a 3-fight winning streak himself. He's really just kind of been owning guys on the ground lately. Are you looking to keep this one on the feet, or are you willing to test his grappling abilities on the ground?
That's his only game plan, is to take me down. If you watch all my fights, I do stupid mistakes, give up my back. I can't do that with Dariush. That's his game. He's like a Damian Maya. I plan on, keeping on the feet, but if it has to go to the ground, just got to make sure I get up and, stay in good position.
Well, what do you think this fight's going to look like? You think it's going to be a calculated kind of strategic match, or you think it's going to be a little wild and kind of everywhere?
I just hope it's exciting, for the fans. I always want to say I'm going to knock the guy out, but this fight, I'm not even going to go in there and look for the knockout because, when I always try to go look for it, it never happens. I just got to let it come. But I think Dariush, if I don't look for the knockout, I'll probably get it with him because his chin is suspect, and he gets hit a lot. He gets rocked a lot. So all I have to do is just wait for that right punch, right moment, right time, and put it on his chin.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's going to reach the scorecards?
I know every fight I had in the UFC has been 15 minutes. But hopefully not. I don't think so.
Well, like you said, you're used to going the full 15 minutes, all 3 rounds. Do you think the longer the fight goes, the more it favors you since you're kind of used to being in there for every minute of the fight?
Of course, Dariush, he fades out. He goes hard in that first. You're going to see he kind of fades out, So I think, probably around 7.5 minute mark, he's going to be done. And then the rest of the fight will be mine. But hopefully it doesn't even go that long.
Now, a win would make it 4 straight for you, and that's really hard to do in the UFC. So after this, would you be gunning for a ranked opponent, or what are kind of your goals for the calendar year?
Yeah, I already have someone in mind. I want to fight Dan Hooker. I think that's a good matchup. You think Barbosa did him dirty? I'm gonna put it on him if I fight him. But I can't look past Dariush. He's a tough opponent. So my focus right now is make sure I go get this victory, and then after the fight, I want Hooker.
Would you call him out on the mic and make the most of the moment?
Of course. I called out Gillespie. I know he's wishing he probably would have took that fight with me now. He's probably still sleeping somewhere.
Kevin Lee got him good, that's for sure.
But yeah, you know what I mean? It's, I got to start being more entertaining. It kind of sucks that you have to, talk a little crap. But you have to put seats in the stands, and if you have to say a couple things that people don't like, so be it. But that's not me. But if I have to, to get those fights, I'm gonna have to do it.
Well, what's your official prediction? How do you think the end result is going to take place?
Just me getting my hand raised, and I'll be on a 4-fight win streak.
I dig it. Now, you got any sponsors or people that you'd like to give a special thank you or shout out to?
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to my brother Hawk for coming together and helping with the close route to victory. Dreamscape, RX Water, 8-Man Strong, Empire Pro Tape, Fight Ready, all my coaches, you. Just make sure everyone tune in March 7th. It's going to be fireworks. I see they moved me up to the pay-per-view part. So
yeah, that's exciting. So this is your first pay-per-view, right?
Yep.
Pay-per-view main card. Does that kind of add any pressure, you think? Is it because more eyeballs are going to be on it?
At first, it was all like, man, because I'm living this dad life. I'm like, man, I get tired around 8 o'clock. I'm like, hopefully I can stay up until then. But no pressure. it's just another day. Just got to make sure I go in there and get the job done. Leave with 2 paychecks.
Have you geared your training towards that, towards fighting later in the night at all?
Not really. I kind of hit mitts like around 5 or 6 these last couple weeks. But you know, during fight week, I always normally train around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock anyway, so I can just get a workout in and then go to bed. So I should be acclimated to that time.
Awesome. So one more time, why don't you give your social media handles so everyone can come along on the journey and follow you as you prepare for battle?
Everyone can just follow me at Drakkar_Klose, or the Close Route to Victory. You also can follow my girlfriend, Courtney Cast Iron Casey, on social media. Just follow us on our journey.
Well, Drakkar Klose, thank you so much for taking out the time once again. Beneil Dariush is in your crosshairs. UFC 248, March 7th. Have fun out there.
Thank you.